Yo, what's going on, y'all? Today, by the thumbnail and the title, I don't have too much talking to do, and I don't have too much to get into, but I'm just going to tell y'all, man, pray for this family. Pray for her family and her loved ones, because they are the ones that is going through this the most. I don't think I seen any GoFundMe, anything on here, so I'm positive that she had insurance and everything was paid for, which is pretty good, but it is still sad to know that this young woman lost her life, and just to know that little kids got on the internet to brag about it. It's honestly heartbreaking. Let's go and get into this video right now, man. Y'all already know the deal, man. Make sure y'all smash that thumbs up button. The more thumbs up, man, the more the prayers. So let's go.
Ariana Preston.
Ariana Preston, who was killed over the weekend in front of her home as she was returning from duty.
This is the story of Ariana Preston, a 24-year-old police officer whose life was cut short in an act of senseless violence. Officer Ariana Preston was devoted to serving and protecting her city. She was a beloved daughter, sister, and friend. She was a ray of sunshine to everyone she touched. But one night, Officer Preston's life took an unimaginable turn as she encountered a group of ruthless criminals determined to prey on innocent victims, resulting in Ariana losing her life.
Wow.
This heart-wrenching tragedy shook the city of Chicago, devastating Ariana's friends and loved ones, and had many asking, who was responsible for this horrible crime? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. Ariana Preston's story unfolds in the vibrant streets of Chicago, a city with its blend of joy and sorrow. Officer Preston was a dedicated and passionate young woman who wore the badge with pride. At just 24 years old,
Wow.
Officer Preston had already made a significant impact on her community. She was blessed with loving parents and two younger siblings, who were her pride and joy. She was just days away from achieving her dreams with a master's degree from Loyola University. She had dedicated 3 years of her life to serving the community as a police officer, working tirelessly to make a positive impact. As she worked her way up in her career, she touched the lives of countless individuals, leaving a legacy of compassion and dedication. Her commitment to making a difference was evident to all who knew her. But between the hope, darkness lurked. Amidst her drive to serve and pursue higher education, Officer Preston's path crossed with those of her killers. 4 teenagers, Trevor Breland, Joseph Brooks, Jaquan Buchanan, and Jalen Frazier, changed the course of her life forever. The tragic event occurred when Officer Preston was just off duty. The suspects, part of a crew, accosted her in front of her home in Avalon Park. They pulled up in a vehicle. Without hesitation, they ran towards her, all dressed in black with face masks and armed with handguns. They intended to rob innocent victims, and Officer Preston, unfortunately, became their target. A barrage of gunfire erupted, forever altering the lives of everyone involved. One of the suspects opened fire at Officer Preston, who bravely returned fire. Tragically, she was shot both in the face and the neck.
Wow.
During the chaos, one of the suspects managed to steal Officer Preston's gun before fleeing the scene in the stolen vehicle. The accused killers, aged between 16 and 19 years old, were allegedly involved in a violent crime spree that involved multiple robberies, car theft, and an armed confrontation resulting in Officer Preston's death. According to prosecutors, the group committed several robberies in different locations in Chicago before targeting Officer Preston. She was coming home from her shift at CPD's 5th District, still in uniform, when the group of suspects made their way to the area of 81st and Blackstone. The suspects allegedly stole a red Kia Forte at gunpoint and later set it on fire after using it in the shooting. During the exchange of gunfire between Officer Ariana Preston and the suspects, several muzzle flashes were visible, indicating the intensity of the confrontation. As authorities investigated the scene, they discovered 2 shell casings that belonged to Officer Preston's firearm, indicating that she bravely fought back in the face of danger. The arrests of the suspects came about after evidence started to come together, including finding credit cards belonging to one of the robbery victims in the white Dodge used by the group.
Wow.
One of the suspects reportedly bragged to a friend about the shooting of Officer Ariana Preston. Prosecutors built a strong case with a wealth of evidence, including surveillance videos, ballistics, and DNA analysis. The accidental confession by the youngest suspect, Jalen Frazier, further incriminated the perpetrators. In a significant development in the case of the tragic murder of Officer Ariana M. Preston, prosecutors have revealed that the youngest suspect's mother played a crucial role in turning her teenage son into the police. The youngest suspect was taken into custody at the same police district where Officer Preston proudly served. Law enforcement sources have informed the I-Team that 2 individuals involved in the attack, both women, are cooperating with investigators and providing testimony to a grand jury that is currently considering indictments in the case. One of these women, now acting as a witness, initially came to the attention of the police when authorities attempted to tow her car from the crime scene, and she displayed agitation. This woman was an early focus of the investigation and is believed to have aided detectives in identifying the other suspects. After the charges were announced, Mayor Lori Lightfoot issued a statement commending the Chicago Police Department and the hardworking detectives for their swift action in apprehending and bringing to justice the 4 individuals responsible for Officer Preston's heinous murder.
4 people are now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Chicago police officer Ariana Preston. Police say the group had been on a crime spree before killing the officer.
The offenders are teens: 19-year-old Travell Breland, 19-year-old Joseph Brooks, 18-year-old Jaquan Buchanan, and a 16-year-old male. Police say at least 2 of them shot at Officer Ariana Preston when she was returning home from work at 1:42 a.m. Saturday. Police say the 4 offenders were traveling in a stolen red Kia and they were looking for people to victimize. They allegedly committed multiple crimes before ambushing Officer Preston.
As Officer Preston was returning home from her tour of duty early Saturday morning, 4 offenders pulled up in a stolen vehicle. The offenders quickly exited the vehicle and ran towards Officer Preston while armed. An offender fired at Officer Preston, who returned fire. The offenders continued to shoot Officer Preston, and offenders stole Officer Preston's weapon before all offenders fled the scene in a stolen vehicle.
Her last arrest that evening, even the arrestee, once finding out the news of what had happened, she wept.
Wow.
But that speaks to credit of Officer Preston.
The 4 suspects went to court and were denied bond.
A large contingent of Chicago police officers filed into the Layton Criminal Courthouse today in support of Officer Ariana Preston's family, as they, for the first time, got to hear and see the 4 teenagers charged with the 24-year-old's murder, killed on her front lawn early Saturday morning as she returned home from a shift at District 5.
But as I said in that courtroom today, the people I really felt sorry for was those boys. I felt sorry for them because nobody obviously didn't pour into them. Nobody told them that they were loved.
Appearing via video screen and charged with first-degree murder as well as various counts of armed robbery and vehicle theft were 16-year-old Jalen Frazier, 18-year-old Jaquan Buchanan, 19-year-old Travell Breland, and 18-year-old Joseph Brooks. Frazier, despite being a minor, is being charged as an adult, and according to prosecutors, he did himself and his friends in after boasting of his exploits to a friend who then went straight to police.
Defendant Frazier said that it was his work. The friend inquired about what happened, and defendant Frazier told him they were out robbing people and they saw a single female in a car. They were going to rob her, but the female shot at them. One of the guys he was with shot back at the cop and killed her.
The unintentional confession was just part of what prosecutors say was a large volume of evidence collected by investigators that included pod camera video, cell phone data, ballistics, and DNA evidence, as well as the cooperation of 2 women who accompanied the defendants on a 2-hour-long crime spree that preceded the murder.
Anytime you can shoot somebody and say, that was my work.
That's crazy.
What kind of human would say that about another human being?
The mayor expressed gratitude for their diligent efforts, which have successfully removed violent repeat offenders from the city's streets.
Her dedication to justice and her commitment to serving this city will live forever. God, thank you for the gift of Ariana. God, thank you for the gift of life.
This case remains under investigation, and as the legal process unfolds, the community continues to mourn the loss of a dedicated officer and remember the positive impact Officer Preston had on so many lives. Her loved ones said their final goodbyes. They expressed their love and admiration. Ariana's father emphasized the importance of seeking justice for his daughter's untimely departure. He also acknowledged the immense support from the city and their determination to see justice served. Officer Preston's mother expressed her grief during the hearing. Officer Preston's mother is unwavering in her pursuit of justice and seeks a life sentence for those responsible.
And I had a beautiful daughter that I know deserves justice. She's supposed to be in the courtroom. Well, here I am. I'm in the courtroom for her. Justice to me is life, a life sentence.
Of course.
That's justice for us.
Eye for eye, that's justice.
In the face of this tragedy, she asks the public to keep praying for her family and the troubled youths involved.
The one thing I can say is that I know that we gave our all, and my baby is in a better place, and we're gonna get through this.
What happened to Officer Ariana Preston was a profound tragedy that should have never happened. She was a young woman who embodied dedication, compassion, and a strong sense of duty to her community. Her life was tragically cut short by an act of senseless violence, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and devastation in the city of Chicago. The loss of Officer Preston has deeply affected her family, friends, and the community she served with unwavering commitment. Officer Preston's legacy of service, kindness, and dedication will forever be remembered by those whose lives she touched. Her bravery in the face of danger, as evidenced by her courageous actions during the fatal encounter, serves as a testament to her unwavering commitment to protecting others. My condolences to her friends and family.
Man, my condolences to the friends and family as well, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all write some condolences down below for the friends and the family of this fallen soldier. It is sad to see how everything happened, and the most confusing thing is that it was teens. I'm not even gonna say it wasn't confusing. I'm not even gonna say that it's surprising. You know, I knew that they were teens from the time that everything happened, because smart, I would say people with more experience of doing something like that would know better than do something like that. I knew it was teens once the car got set on fire. I knew it, but it's 2023. It's almost humanly impossible to get away with murder nowadays. Now, I'm saying that it's 100% impossible, but it's like a 90% chance of being convicted. Technology is too advanced with DNA. It's just and they are always 100 steps ahead than you think you are, you know. And it's just sad to see that they went on a spree. Like, this was how can I say it, like a field trip. We finna go on a field trip and just rob everything that we see, because I ain't doing nothing but just keeping on a continued, I say a continued stereotype of us black folks. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that the judge do give them the right length. And once again, man, condolences to this young queen who fallen young. You know what I'm saying? All because she was just getting off of work. It's just sad to see her life, and even to know where she was hit at is also sad. I love y'all, man. Make sure y'all keep y'all loved ones next to y'all. Don't forget to tell your family you love them, because you never know when their last day will be. Let's go.